Crown will now hear the petitions. Sir Vaymond of House Velaryon.
For as long as House Targaryen has ruled the skies, House Velaryon has ruled the seas. When the doom fell on Valyria, our houses became the last of their kind. I am Lord Corlys's closest kin, his own blood. The true, unimpeachable blood of House Velaryon runs through my veins.
For your own ambition.
You'll have chance to make your own petition, Princess Rhaenyra. Do Sir Vaymond the courtesy of allowing his to be heard.
She does
Look at
have a
him
point. He
smiling.
does have the floor.
This is a matter of blood, not ambition. I place the continuation of the survival of my house and my line above all.
If I am to grace this fast with some answer, I will start by reminding the court that nearly 20 years ago in this very...
Oh
Here
my
comes Dad.
gosh, look at him. Wow, he's walking on his own.
King of the Andals!
How the heck?
Don't take the stairs. Look at how strong he's
Jimmy
being.
Devils, wow.
Holy crap.
Throwing awfully quick.
Oh, he's
look
a
at
gold
his,
mask
God,
on.
look at his, oh, jeez.
He's gonna get to that.
I think
throne
that's
no matter
plenty.
what.
You've already proved your
Oh
point.
my
He's
God.
so good. He's trying to get to the throne.
Oh,
man.
He's gonna fall on the sword.
Oh, jeez, gonna go up there.
My God.
Oh, boy. Shit.
Of course, Your
That's like a
Grace.
hollow.
This is gonna be ridiculous if he freaking falls on a sword.
Oh my
Help him
gosh,
up.
this is... Oh my gosh.
Right,
Don't
you got the
tip
stairs,
over,
they have the
baby.
freaking swords on his
Oh.
crown.
One of his grandkids should help him.
jeez.
Oh, Damon.
Oh,
Okay, that's different.
Oh, I should help him. Good.
Oh, finally
That's
working
good.
together.
Yeah.
He really
Oh,
cares.
boy.
They get another stab.
Yeah, I don't that's how you do it.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Excellent. He's doing okay for his breathing. That's good.
He really cares, but also helps
Yeah.
his favor.
The only one present who might offer keener insight into Lord Corlys's wishes is the Princess Rhaenys.
Nice.
She might go along with the plan.
It was ever my husband's will that Driftmark pass through Selenor to his true-born son, Lucerys Velaryon.
Wow, okay.
Baelor and Rhaena. A proposal to which I heartily agree.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, I was surprised with that.
Well, that definitely helps both of them out.
Princess Lucerys of House Velaryon is heir to Driftmark.
All right, so everyone heard that.
You break law.
Careful.
I will not allow it.
Allow it. Do not forget yourself, baby.
I know, I gotta know your place.
I think he's gonna be in trouble.
That
Is no true Velaryon.
Oh God, they're gonna kill you.
Certainly,
Oh, they're gonna kill you.
you may
Oh, I
run
feel
your
bad.
house as you see fit. But you will not decide the future of mine.
Yeah, he will
Yeah,
now.
oh,
hands.
yeah. Now you wanna make
Damon's like, go for it. He's gonna too.
Yeah, you already said a lot.
Oh boy.
Her children are bastards!
That's it.
Take his tongue. We can get...
boy.
You're
That's
done.
it. Now you just insulted
Don't fall on the
Damon's
sword.
wife
Don't fall on the
there.
sword.
That's right.
Don't fall.
I was gonna say he's gonna
have
fall.
your tongue for that.
Oh,
Sick! Up it and do the head. Holy crap! I'll have his head.
You can keep his tongue.
Oh,
Sick!
Damon's like, I like that.
Oh my God.
Call the maesters!
Father,
Lethal freaking
my
throne,
God.
Holy
man.
crap, he cut his head off.
I know, like right in the
The
skull,
worst
not
of
even
all.
like the neck. It
Oh
was...
my god.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
The crazy thing is no one's even crying for him. It's just like...
It's
I
just-
know. Well, he did have good points.
Yeah, he had a lot of bad things to say, but... Oh. Oh, sick.
The stranger has visited me more times than I can count, Grand Maester.
To see that's so freaking weird. What a clean cut, though, huh?
Yes.
Or he's getting help. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay.
It's gonna be too exerted.
How good it is to see you all tonight. Together. A toast to the young princess and their betrothed. Hear, hear.
Well done, Jace. You'll finally get to lie with a woman.
Not a table.
You do know how the act is done.
Oh, God.
At least in principle.
Cut that off right away. They should do
Me, cousin.
The faces most dear to me in all the world. Yet grown so distant from each other.
True. Missing an eye, probably.
See me who really
Oh, sick.
honey.
Oh, even the jaw. Look at that, the cheek.
Yes.
Tonight.
Oh my God.
I wish you to see me as I am. Let us no longer hold ill feelings in our hearts. The crown cannot stand strong if the house of the dragon remains divided.
That's a very good point.
And for the sake of this old man, who loves you all,
Oh, Jace.
That's all he wants.
Don't get up. She's gonna leave.
I wish to raise my cup to Her Grace the Queen.
Oh, she's making the first
Yeah,
move.
that's right.
She has tended to him with unfailing devotion, love, and honor.
I can do it.
Your graciousness moves me deeply, Princess. I raise my cup to you.
Oh, she stands too.
and
That's
your
good.
house. You will make a fine queen.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah. That's good.
It's good for all the kids to see that.
Nice. Of course, he's got to go right between them.
I regret the disappointment you're soon to suffer.
Oh,
But if you ever wish to know what it is to be well satisfied...
God, what a jerk.
Right in front of his wife, too. She's on the other side. Oh, he's going to say something nice.
And as men, I hope we may yet be friends and allies. To you and your family's good health, dear uncles.
You as well.
Give up.
Such a good friend of yours.
Mm-hmm. That was very good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Better man. Got me scared of Eamon.
Time makeup.
Except sometimes when he's drunk.
Oh, that's right. They're married. Can I dance with you?
He's getting back at Eamon.
He's looking right at him. Nice.
Oh, Lucy's seeing this.
Yeah.
This is what he wanted.
Good.
Oh. He said, "This is what I wanted to
He
see.
does
This is my
now.
final
He's very
moment."
content.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, here it
That's
goes.
it.
Didn't even eat. A pig.
Ah.
I don't know if that's supposed
Oh,
to be
right in
intentional.
front of him.
Yeah.
Remember those days?
I like irony. He's like, "Why are you laughing?
Oh.
You're the one who did this to me."
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Final tribute.
Grandpa's gone now, so.
Uh-oh.
And
Strong.
Payment.
Come.
Strong.
Let us drain our cups to these three strong boys.
Stop,
guys,
trying
stop
to-
fighting. Grandpa just left.
Whoa!
Guys.
Guys,
And the
come
mother's
on.
not going to say it. Damon might have to stop it. You're better than
Go
this,
to your
boys.
quarters. All of you go, now.
Oh, boys.
So I like this
Damon's
guy.
like, I'm going to have fun.
Return on Dragonback.
The king and I would both like that.
Nice. Oh, I'm coming
Yeah.
back for you.
Yeah, it's like, oh. Still alive.
I thought he was content now.
Maybe it's something
It's
different.
been quite a night at the castle.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought it was him. Well, at least he had one good evening.
It probably goes through his cheek.
What you wanted to know, if I believe it to be true.
Believe what to be true.
Don't say it, because you're
maybe
gonna.
he thinks it's Rhaenyra.
It is true. What he saw in the north.
This is gonna ruin everything
Yeah,
that he
it's
just.
wrong.
That was promised.
No.
To unite the realm. It's
No.
No, it's the wrong.
No, don't say this. That's it.
It is you, meaning
You are the
Rhaenyra. No.
Holy crap, this is she's hearing it wrong. Oh, this poor girl, and she's trying to be loyal, like she's always been loyal to him. This sucks. This whole thing sucks. And he freaking dies.
Oh, she's like, oh. Why didn't you tell everyone else that?
Well, that just completely turned everything sideways. And everything goes to hell.
I understand, my king.
And now Rhaenyra's gonna ride back on Dragonback.
Oh, no more.
Oh, he's
Pain.
where he supposed to go. Oh. He's serious.
He's finally having pain. My love.
Breathing stopped.
Oh.
Oh, it's all quiet. Wow. Well,
What a fighter, though. My
yeah.
God, to be alive
Darn.
that long.
Obviously, he died.
Yes.
He
I don't know.
dies.
He still breathed at the end. He was just
No,
like,
he's
my
gone.
love. But can you imagine
Right,
if he shows
right,
up
My
next
love
to
is
us?
so-
I felt so bad for that guy. I mean, Viserys, you know, I felt so terrible for him from the beginning. He is a really good king, and he really wants peace and cares about people. He
does.
It is about names, and with him, you know, talking before about, well, people remember me as a good king because he didn't have like a huge war or anything to be remembered by. But he really did care for a lot of people,
That's
you know.
right.
Yes, he did, and family was everything. And
That's
he
right, definitely.
he was dismissive on his grandchildren's legitimacy, but he wanted to be true to that,
Yeah.
That's for
and
sure,
he wanted
yes.
to be true to Rhaenyra being his heir.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all another misunderstanding.
That's right, Mike.
And
Here it
now
goes again.
she's going
Bastard
to
sword.
think that she is the key, you know,
That's right.
Alicent is the key, that she's supposed to be,
Just,
Know
I mean,
something, my gosh.
right? So,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, you never know, but, you know, during the dinner, I was happy to see some of them get along. Like, Alicent and Rhaenyra to actually, you
That
know,
was
talk
beautiful.
to each
That was-
other.
yes,
like, that was
definitely.
huge
That was
for
really
them
good.
because the heavy conflict they've been having for all these years and resentment, like, it's so sad that they had to go through that because they were so close in the first episode before she was married to her father. But to actually stand up and respectfully, you know, give a speech on the other person and drink to that. Like, that is so big. And I love that the kids saw that, but they're so spiteful too and already set in their ways. And they're so freaking confident on what they believe in, especially like Aemond. He's come very far.
yeah.
oh
Like, he's
yeah,
terrifying.
Alicent's
Yeah, he
kids
is
are very
terrifying.
much, you have to really worry about the kid, those
Yeah,
kids.
and they don't have any like authority, like
No,
they or not.
and
They
that's
do,
why,
but yeah, Alicent doesn't
Definitely.
like have any authority over them, or she doesn't like try to quell anything. And Viserys is just too sick, where he did his best talking to everyone,
That's right.
but it's
Yeah,
terrifying.
it's
Like
like
they
that.
just run free.
They
Yeah,
do. As soon as he
yeah.
left, they wanted to, you know, they just went, okay, it's not really, okay, we're going to be respectful when Grandpa's there. Once he's left, that's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
And
that's
that
rough.
scene at the table when Aemon was looking over, ironically, the pig is served. And I know that
Yes.
wasn't intentional,
It
but
wasn't.
then Luke, of
No.
course, is right across
And
from
he's-
him.
he's
He named
snickering.
him, and
Yes.
he took his freaking eye. Like, that's awful. And for him to kind of laugh, that was
Yes.
a very
that was good.
terrible
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah,
That was like
yes.
a very rude, terrible thing to do. And
That's
when
right.
Aemon stood up and got really mad and started mouthing them and just saying like, you know, that you're strong. Like, it was funny, but it was bad to do that too. But here, like, Luke kind of started it again, because here he's scoffing at him when he did something awful. He actually permanently, you know, hurt him.
He did, and it was the whole thing, and that was his dragon that was going to, you know, he was going to have a pig for a dragon, whatever they did, you know, to tease him right from the beginning.
Yeah.
So they have this, you know, tit for tat kind of thing, and even egging on Jace, you know, you know, working on him, you know, I can give you some pointers, yada yada, just being a jerk. So it's clearly going to have, there's clearly going to be some confliction that I think Uncle Damon's going to have to separate the boys in some way, if one of them doesn't die beforehand.
Yeah, because Eamon, I know a little bit in looks too, but Eamon and Damon look and act very similar in ways. You know, they're extremely confident and just have that presence, being very intimidating.
Yeah, and I think that's why Damon is kind of like snickering, because he's like, "Oh, he reminds me of someone I know."
Yeah, right.
Myself.
Yeah, and you know, I always liked Damon, and I was very uneasy with him and Rhaenyra getting together, because Viserys was so against it, and there's just been a lot of conflicts between everyone, and you know, again, it's weird anyways, but I'm trying to think Targaryen, that's their culture and all that. So, but now that Damon and Rhaenyra are together, I think that was a great decision, because at least Rhaenyra is, even though she's strong in her own, it's still a huge struggle, and I was very worried for her safety, you know, especially with everyone getting older now, and Viserys, I'm like, crap, if he dies soon, you know, her life might be forfeit, like they keep saying with other, you know, people. But yeah, I like her and Damon together, and him just like killing Vaemond, like, holy crap, like we knew he was gonna die. Like,
that was crazy. You know, I do have to give the guy some credit. I mean, he was true to his words. He truly believed that it should go to
blood.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that her sons are not of blood. I mean, they are, because of her blood, so they're still Targaryen blood. But it's all a facade. It's all a lie. So I get that. And Corlys just let it go, because he's like, it's all about the name. People will remember the name. They won't remember the blood, you know? But his brother completely thinks differently. And it makes me so sad that it's always about power in the end. Everyone wants to be on the throne, whether it's the Iron Throne, the wood throne, the driftwood throne, or something like. And you just lost someone. And even like Rhaenys, I loved her and Corlys's relationship. Like, we still don't know fully if he's dead. It sounds like with that story that it's not looking good. So she actually felt really bad. I mean, not even just felt really bad. She was heartbroken. It seemed like she looked away. She was very upset. She was trying to compose herself, and she did well there in the beginning when she first heard the news. But immediately when Vaemond just like went at her, and I'm sure he's probably said things before, you know, but to just turn it around and be like, well, now it's my throne because it's my right. And I get where he's coming from. It just sucks that all this is also in the mix. Like, oh my God, with the loved one
your
just
brother hasn't
possibly
even
died.
died yet, but he wants to solidify things.
You have
before,
to. It's all politics. Like, you have to.
You just have to keep moving along.
Yeah, so all that just sucks, you know? I'm like, I'm glad we don't have to, like, worry about that stuff. But,
right.
You know,
and
I just
then
want
her
to warn my
granddaughter's
loved
watching this, you know, and she's very loyal to her grandmother. And Rhaenys, I really feel for her, you know, in that moment where she's like, here we go again. I have to, you know, fight for, you know, what's right. And with her talking to Rhaenyra, and I was kind of like, what is her true thoughts on everything, on Rhaenyra's proposal? And then we found out what her true feeling was, and it was for Rhaenyra's plan.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I love Rhaenys. I really like Rhaenyra a lot. I think they're extremely smart. A lot of them are great players in this game, Game of Thrones. But I think Rhaenys and Rhaenyra, even though they're at odds right now, like, they're very smart and they're going to go the best way to help themselves. And I think Rhaenys would have made a great queen, but because of circumstances, her being a freaking woman, she couldn't have it. And Rhaenyra is going through a similar struggle. And the fact that there's something worse in the mix where, you know, Rhaenys is she's saying that Rhaenyra actually killed her son or had her son killed, which isn't too far from the truth. I mean, it was a facade, and I'm happy he's alive. But she marries Daemon soon after. It looks very suspicious, you know, and for her to think that way is very smart. So I don't blame her for being that, I will say, hateful against Rhaenyra, because, like, you got her son murdered.
Especially after how Daemon's wife died.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's really odd,
right?
That happened. So
That's
she's
very
accusing
true.
her.
Yeah.
So for her to still go this route to be like, yes, like confidently, like they had a great discussion on it. We're going to marry our kids or marry our lines and, you know, to keep it strong. And, you know, I think that was the best play she could have done.
Too, because it's for her grandchildren. Her granddaughters will, you know, benefit from it.
So it's not about like the bad blood in many ways.
Yeah, she's thinking for the next few.
As a whole, the bigger picture, to help protect them as well. So I think she would be great at Driftmark, and she has been already, but as like a queen there. I really hope she can have that. I mean, now her competition's gone, and what a way to kill a guy. Holy crap, what a sharp sword.
I know, but seriously, I'll have my tongue for that. And Damon goes, I'll up you that.
I know, sick. We actually see the tongue there, so as violent as that was, like, it's still funny, too, because he's like, I'm going to take your tongue, and that's the first thing we see after he gets sliced. You just see the tongue. Yeah, and then Rhaenys, that scene afterwards when they're putting Vaemond to rest or like preparing him to go back to Driftmark, like she's watching it, and I feel so sad for her because like she's going numb to it because, you know, death has already visited her so many times through her family, for her family, that it's very sad.
Right.
Very sad.
Really hardens
and
you.
then her coming back home, you know, Corlys is probably going to be there. You don't know what the time frame is on this. You said, 3 days originally? He's going to be there in time. But
6-year jump in the beginning.
So many days. Right?
Yeah. You know, the pacing has been pretty consistent, kind of, like almost every episode we're jumping so many years. And, you know, when I first heard of the first time jump, like, I was like, oh, God, I'm like, that's going to be a little hard to get used to the characters because I don't know if I'm going to feel like they're the same character. But I think the actors, you know, the choices on the, like, what actors to replace, you know, certain characters really does work well. And I'm getting used to the time jumps. It does make it a little harder to connect with the characters somewhat, but I think they did a good job.
I think so too, especially with the younger kids, you know, with the grandkids.
Yeah, because they change so much.
Right.
You know,
and
but...
And Aemon, too, how he more or less raped that young girl.
Or Aegon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Right. And she had, and she was confessing that, you know, what happened. I was just here, you know, giving him wine, and then I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I mean, the poor thing.
Oh,
and the queen was very sympathetic to that.
Yeah,
she believed it. She knows her son through and through. You know, he's always been, you know, a little edgy.
He always, like, he was freaking masturbating in a window at one point, and then he's saying that, like, I love, like, my sister and I have a lot in common. We love things with very long legs. You know, he's always been a lustful guy, and just... No, I mean, Alicent yells at him and stuff, and I guess there's only so much you can do, but I'm like, here he just still has free range, and he does what he wants.
Right,
like,
and she says, you're no son of mine. She's that upset with him. She says, you're no son of mine. She's disgraced by him.
Yeah, it's disgusting, you know, and the fact that he doesn't even care.
He doesn't care because...
He's never cared.
Yeah, he feels that, you know, okay, I'm the king's son, but I have no say, so why should I care? I'm just going to be a jerk, you know, and I'm just going to do what I want because I'm insignificant in this line. You know, I feel bad for him too because I know he has a lot of pressure, and this is the way he's reacting to it. Because Alicent from the start was like, "Your life could be forfeit if Rhaenyra takes the throne," but yet he still just has this reaction of acting like he doesn't care. He yawns at the dragons or even at the funeral, and he just gets drunk. Like he's very selfish and. You know, even teasing his younger brother and even teasing his cousins. It gets confusing with the lines sometimes. All the incest is like disregards his sister, who's his wife.
Gosh,
wow.
Yeah, it's just all. Yeah, and
it's terrible. It's
So
terrible. I do feel bad for Alicent, but now she thinks that she's supposed to fight for.
Yeah, Aegon, because that's what gets confusing too. Because right when I get like keeping these main big names, because Aegon the Conqueror, like that's a huge name to have in your family. So I get having that name again, but I'm like, that'll get so confusing. Like us having like, well, you know, Tom runs in our family, but I was going to say like so many Toms or someone of the same name all over. Especially when you get older, it gets a little confusing, you know. So here, although it wasn't because he was confused. In a way it was, because he thought he was talking to Rhaenyra.
Yeah, he was continuing this conversation he had with his daughter earlier about the dream, Aegon's dream. So then he's continuing it with Alicent.
Oh my gosh.
That he thinks...
Now it's completely flipped and it's wrong. And finally they had this dinner and he said great words, because he says great words all the time.
And she was actually, you know, talking genuine to Rhaenyra before she left. I mean, I want you, you know, the king and I want you back, you know, and now
watch this.
This screwed up everything, and now he freaking died there, and that's it. You know, and that's why I was like, wow, I was thinking to myself with Ned Stark when he was supposed to, like, what did they call it, the king consort or whatever he was supposed to be till Joffrey became of age, and then Cersei undermined him, like, everyone did, because no one heard what Robert said, and they had the letter, whatever. So I thought it was going to be something like that, where he was going to, like, I didn't know he was going to try to walk to the throne. Like, that was very impressive that he even got there. And I kept getting nervous. I'm sure a lot of people did. He was going to fall on the swords if you didn't read the books. It's like, is this how he dies? Because that's very pitiful. It sucks if he dies that way. But I'm like, wow, he actually got out what he wanted to say. He solidified everything with Rhaenys and with Rhaenyra. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool that he was actually able to get that out. But what's going to happen to change that? Because that's major. The king said in front of so many people, important people, that this is what he wants. So it's not the same as what happened with Ned Stark. I was waiting for something like that.
Yeah, and it's truly what he wants right to the end. He just thought he was talking to another person, you know, so he still wants that. But Alicent, again, was misinformed just by chance, like with Sir Kristoff.
I feel so bad.
With Cole, that was another misinformation, and that divided her and the princess. So now there's going to be another division, and it's going to be even worse because the king's not around.
That's right. My gosh.
And it's bad because Alicent truly thinks that's what he wanted.
Yes.
And then Rhaenyra's going to think completely the opposite, and it just sucks because now they're going to be mortal enemies. This is going to be awful. And I know there's a Dance of the Dragons. We heard you heard a little bit about it in Game of Thrones, and I don't know if we're going to see it like in the finale of this season, if that's going to be like at the end, because I know a lot of people die there. I don't know, like if most of the it's going to be awful. Like we're finally like really getting into these characters,
especially if Alicent talks to the sons first, or talks to Rhaenyra. Who is she going to, you know, be confident with?
I think her father first, Otto. I think Otto first, and then she's going to go right to Aegon and Aemon to be like, this is what has to happen.
Right.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Your grandfather said that on his dying bed, you know.
Yeah.
And
I'm nervous because now Rhaenyra's going to return on her own. So she's going to be...
And she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant. I don't know. I hope we don't get another red wedding kind of deal. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be really bad because and it's sad because I want to give Alicent more credit because I didn't like what she did last episode, but she was always very loyal, and I'm glad Rhaenyra actually said that, even if it was to be nice to her dad and kind of make peace.
I think she was genuine with it. I think she was genuinely saying that. She truly means that she was always by his side.
Yeah, and she always was, and even though she never loved him, she does love him to a certain extent because over time, you've been living with this guy forever. He has been very respectful to her and kind to her. She never had any love and everything else, like the lovemaking. I get that, but she did her duty, and he knew that too, and they had that arrangement, and you know they were true to their arrangement. Like he never slept with other people, although he could because he's the king and it's different for guys, and she just stayed true with him the whole time. Like she didn't have anyone on the side either. So they were really true to each other, and I really love that. And even at the end here, she really cared for him and felt so bad for him. Like Alicent's face, like seeing Viserys like that with his eye socket and his
especially
cheek
she
drawn out.
approaches him on that side,
Yeah,
where she's
That's right.
accepting of it, and she doesn't care.
Yeah, as
That's
scary
right.
as it is,
Yeah.
she's not like openly like,
Definitely.
because even by themselves, she's very caring and like,
Yes.
great job, you
Yeah.
swallowed that,
Yes.
that's good, and so she is really a good person for that, and
That's right.
to be thrown into this where she doesn't have a choice in life, like even when she was young and she'd pick her nails and make her hands bleed, and this was what people expected of her, like her father, like this is the best thing that you could do in your life, so you have like no choice throughout your whole life. So everything she's done, she really tried her best and was always 100% loyal and did everything 100% her duty. She did
That's
that. So for Rhaenyra to always be so close to her father and always be in his favor, no matter all the wrongs that she's been doing, breaking duty, like not even, I mean, she had her own arrangement, and like nowadays, that's very, it's that's a whole nother topic, but that's like more accepted where it's not by death if you cheat on someone, and they had a open arrangement, her and her cousin, that
it was mutual.
Right,
it was mutual. He had a male lover, and they were just going to do their duty for the realm and then have their happiness elsewhere, which is understandable. But in this, I don't want to say universe, but this era, like it was very frowned upon. You couldn't break duty or law, like that was the law. So if it's not just saying like, oh yeah, they are bastards, or you use a better term, I guess, and be like, yeah, they're not his children, but oh well, now we have to kill you, like so it's like it's, if you say that they are bastards and the king believes that too, then they're going to be killed, right? Like,
exactly.
So it's a lot more dangerous. So you
Right.
can't live freely. You have to go by duty, and that's what's so hard. So Alicent's following that, but Rhaenyra, is more open to break that. I'm not saying it's right, but I get why, and she had an agreement with her husband. That's the hard
you really
thing.
can't
That's right.
blame
That's
Rhaenyra, because look, you're being matched with people you don't love, and
That's right,
and what is it? What are you going to do? Be miserable all your life? And Daemon, planted that seed where you can just do your duty, but you can still, have your pleasure too. And as long as it's quiet and it's, out of mind, but when you have children that don't look like the father,
I know, and
hard.
it's extreme just his way.
Right.
That's made it harder because here, she's full on, white hair, looks the part of Targaryen, and her kids don't have anything of that.
Yeah,
It's all
and
strong.
I should actually rephrase that. They look like the father, but not like the husband.
Oh yeah.
To say, the husband.
I know, like not at all, and that's what
Right.
sucks, because they
Oh,
both
my
had
gosh.
white hair. So if anything,
Right.
it's like, why do they have brown hair?
Yes,
Right, my God.
But
exactly.
I know that Viserys knows that they're bastards,
Yes.
but I know he knows he can't voice that,
and
because
she can't even voice it. She says it even in private with people that is there renouncing.
You have to be very careful for who's listening.
Yes.
You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You never know.
She's saying, she's trying to say it so many times that she believes it herself.
Yeah.
So she doesn't, mistakenly say something wrong.
You got to be very careful. And
Viserys, going back to him, he's got a grandson that is named after him.
That's right.
Yeah, that was
happy.
sweet.
He
That was
was
sweet,
so
yeah.
happy.
Oh,
great name.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a fitting name for a king.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a good episode. It was very
It
tense.
was good, and I love Daemon in this too. How he helped his brother get up to the throne.
Me too.
And
I
put
love
the
that.
crown on
And he put the
him.
crown on him, yeah.
That was beautiful, and you can just really look at Daemon's face the whole time at his brother and saying,
It was really hard for him.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was hard, yeah.
It was
Very
a good-
difficult.
It was a good moment
That
to
was
see his face like that. Like, I do love you, brother.
Yeah,
It-
that's
yeah.
good at the end.
And again, I like Daemon, but he's done a lot of very bad things before. I mean, he's an amazing warrior, but he killed his freaking first wife. He was always very mean about his first wife. And he was very disrespectful. And I get
he didn't want to
that.
marry her.
Yeah.
He didn't love her.
And to bash anyone's face in, like, that's another level of you can't make an excuse for that. Like, I don't like this marriage, just on the way out. So it was an accident. To be able to do that, like it's still another level of
That's
you don't go back to that.
Yes.
But he does care. I know he loves Rhaenyra, and they're like a perfect match together. And he's always loved his brother. He even defended him, you know, when he was talking to Corlys and he was being disrespectful about Viserys. And he's like, well, don't talk to him. He's still my brother and the king.
Yes.
You know, but they were still at odds. But it doesn't mean he never, you know, disliked him. He always loved his brother. Yeah. So seeing him care this much, and it's so hard for Daemon to show emotion. It was good to actually see that struggle.
It was. And now his ex-lover had... you know, like a little birdie, you know, is checking in on him.
Yeah.
So I wonder what she has up her sleeve.
I know. She's going to be very dangerous.
I actually thought it was him going up to see her.
I think they did it on purpose because he always wears the hood.
He wears the hood and it was dark, you know, so it's like...
So it kind of made us like, oh, is he still doing that?
I was sad to see him going up there, but it wasn't him after all. But what does she have in store for him, if anything?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to go more and talk about that, but I was just thinking, like, it's amazing at how many kids these people are popping out.
I know. I'm trying to figure out now.
Like, does she even have any kids?
Or 6?
I don't know.
5 or 6.
Yeah, she's pregnant, and then she has 2 kids by Daemon already, so 3. And then she has Jace and Luke.
That's right. My God.
Right? So,
and
she's got a lot of kids going on. And then Allison has hers. And, but I think, she's done. So
yeah, she has 3, right?
Mm-hmm. But pretty incredible show. Love it. And I can't wait to watch the next episode. I mean, everything's building up so much. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
I know. We're waiting for it.
A funeral and 3 murders.
I know, right? Or more. No. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out our full reactions or uncut reactions, you can check that out in the links below. We have a whole library of movies and shows, all full uncut reactions that you can check out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye, guys.
Bye.